Good evening, ladies and gents. As you're coming in, if you can see my screen and you can hear my voice, please do raise your hand on the Zoom application so that I know we in business. Roy, thank you very much. Hands coming in. Evening, ladies and gents. Today is the 20th of October, 2021. My name is Njabulo Nsibande. Um, Kicking it off with the 721 system traded by Simon Brown. I did post on Twitter the positions that he was on, um, one of which was the Nifty 50. Sorry, not the Nifty 50, the Hong Kong 50. You know, nice technical breakout there. That was the trigger, the candle, the trigger there, and the candle that confirmed. So this was the triggering candle, and this was the confirmation candle as it closed higher, which was a nice bullish engulfing candle. This trade is sitting nice in the green. I think if you can break that 26,500 level, the Hong Kong index will rise to probably around the 29,000 rand, 29,000 point level. He's also long on Nasdaq. Now also I believe this was the trigger. This was the trigger candle, and yesterday was the confirmation candle. Still pretty much flat on this position, I would assume, depending of course on where exactly he entered on that position. And similarly on S&P, I believe this was the trigger candle. Yes, this was the trigger. Yeah, but if this was the trigger candle, and this was a confirmation candle, and I think if we can break through that 4,500, if we can break through that 4,500 level, I think we'll see the S&P 500 starts to run. And finally, from Simon's side, the UK, I believe we would have been stopped, but I think perhaps if he got re-triggered there with the confirmation candle there. So that was the trigger. So that was the trigger and only confirmed there. So it only confirmed on the 8th of October, and still running quite high, and broke a significant technical level and holding that 7,200 rand, $7,200 level, looking quite, the UK 100 index is looking quite well. I got stopped on a couple of trades. I got stopped on the AVI today. Again, dividends. Let's move that out of the way. Dividends also, again, catching me off guard. Let's remove that and bring it back. XDev catching me off guard again. I did receive a small dividend. I got stopped on this trade. I think we'll see the stock coming back to test the 200-day exponential moving average and then bouncing back higher. I also got stopped on First Rand. Also got stopped on First Rand, slipping below that 50-day exponential moving average. So it looks like it's holding that 57 Rand prior resistance, now holding as support. I think we'll see the stock bouncing back higher with that nice doji there. I'm gonna wait for a break back above that 62.50 level, and then I'll jump back into the trade. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to pop them up in the Q&A box or the chat box. I will be monitoring those simultaneously. And if they're specific to a chart, I'll just jump into it. But if that's not time sensitive, I'll touch on it in the end. So you can feel free to pop them up as we go along. I'm still long on APSA. Absa holding the longer term, the medium term support level, that ascending triangle pattern there, forming that ascending triangle pattern. I'm waiting for a break um, back above that 158 level. If you can close through 158, I'll add to the position and raise my stop behind me. Um, I, I think I'll get a higher level as the stock bounces through that ascending triangle support line there. I think I'll get higher levels when I'm adding to the position above that 158 level. Um, Aspen looks like it's remembering that 240 level. If we look back into, if we zoom out a little bit on, if we zoom out a little bit on this uh, on this Aspen chart, we'll see come on, the 240 rand level has been an area of substantial memory in the market, and it looks like it's remembering that level. If we just use if we use that support there as guideline, it looks like the market is remembering that 240 rand level, holding quite well as support. It's holding so far so good on this trade. I did lower my stop just a little bit because it placed it just below the doji candle there. So I figured let me give it a bit more room to place it just below the traffic there, around the 50-day exponential moving average. When I find myself with a good winning trade, I like to give the trade quite a bit of room. So I'm waiting for a close back above that 273 level. Perhaps if we can get a close through 274, I'll add it to the position and raise my stop just below those lows there. I suspect perhaps we could have a nice cup and handle pattern here, but we'll see. We'll see as weeks and days progress. Next on the list is Astral Food. Looks like that ascending triangle pattern has failed there, but the trade itself hasn't failed. Let's see if it'll hold that 50-day exponential moving average. We could see this. We could see the stock consolidate back to that 50-day exponential moving average, and then start to see some psychological buying happening. But I'm waiting for a close through that 186 level. If you can get it close through that, convincing close through that 168, 186 rather, I'll raise my stop to just below that 50 exponential moving average, around that 170, 167.25, just below the doji there, and add to my position. Looking fairly decent, even though at the moment going nowhere slowly. Next is Balo. Finding a bit of selling there around that 127 rand level. Let's see where the sell-off ends up at, and let's see how long this 127 rand level. But I was waiting for that 132, which was a historical memorable level. But let's see how long this 127 rand level holds as resistance. If it holds for long enough, when it breaks through it, I'll add to the position and raise my stop, perhaps to around that 117 level. Maybe the 50-day exponential moving average would have caught on as well, on Balo. Now looking at Bitcop, uh, someone is selling the stock at around the 335 level. Once that seller steps away, I'll add, with a breakthrough that 335 level, I'll raise my stop to around the 319 level and add to my position and wait. For now, I'm just waiting. I was waiting for that 252 level, which is also a historical um, level of memory, so to speak. So, if it breaks through that 335 level, that means that seller there stepped away. I'll add to my position and raise my stop just below that 50-day exponential moving average around that 319 level. Richmond got in a run again after closing through that 50-day exponential moving average, holding that 170 level, which I had that level there as a resistance, holding it today. I'm looking quite well. Now I'm waiting for close through that 182, at which point I'll add to my position. The level that I'm truly waiting for to a breakthrough is at 189. If we can make a new high close through the 189.40 level, that will be off, the stock will be off to the races. But for now, just building up my position. Hopefully, when we break through that 189, 190 level, if we break through that level, perhaps I'll be holding a risk-free position at that point in time, and we'll be off to races from that point. Just came moving quite nicely. Looks like the market remembered that 32 rand resistance level. Not 100% sure if it was saved by the bell or the market truly remembered that's 32 rand level. Let's see. Perhaps tomorrow we'll see a breakthrough. We'll see a breakthrough the 32 rand level. At which point I'll add to my position, raising my stop to just around that 50 exponential moving average, perhaps just below those lows there, around 30 rand level. Yeah, I think 30 rand is a great place to place a stop. Once we break through that 32 rand 40. Distal has been in consolidation mode recently, creating that falling wedge. They looking fairly distant. Look like sellers are running out of steam. I think there's some psychological buying starting to build up around that 50 exponential moving average. The company did come up with a sense announcement that they will, it was an update for an update, that they will come up with an update around that Heineken deal to before the end of Q3 of 2021, so somewhere closer to the end of this month. Let's see if what news will come around that Heineken deal. But I'm waiting for close through that 190 level. If we can break through that 190 level, I'll raise my stop to around 180 and add to my position and hold in another 5% risk on this trade. Looking like a gem, man. This trade, I can't believe we're still holding it to a year and a bit later. Okay. No, that's not what we want to do. That's not what we want to do. That's what I want to do. Glencore, it's jumped into a higher box. Looked like it's slipping back to the previous box. Nice doji today, which is a bullish candle. So if it can break back above the higher box, that'd be swell. When I'm waiting for close through that 86 rand level, unless of course that it spends a lot of time not breaking that 78 rand 90 level. If that high holds for long enough, when it re-breaks it, I'll add to my position with a stop loss just below the doji. That's if it's that this low is not taken out by the market between now and then, around that 73 rand 40. Investec looking not too bad, looking not too bad, cementing itself with a breakthrough. That resistance there, you see, that level held for quite a while before the stock cementing itself into this higher box. I'm waiting for a close through that 70 rand. It did kind of tested with that doji days. If we can close through that 70 rand, I'll add to my position and raise my stop. Just below that bullish engulfing candle, I'm sure that the 50-day exponential moving average would have caught on as well behind this stock. So the trading update came from Mediclinic, boosted a bunch of these medical stocks, and there was a bullish divergence on life healthcare, that let's see if we can bring back. For some reason my computer is acting a bit slowish today. No man, that's not what I wanna do. Stochastic. Bring back this. So as you can see, we had a nice bullish divergence pattern here at the nice bullish divergence. Price making a lower low, but the oscillator making higher lows, indicating the car is about to turn, slowing down, and the like. So when it closed back about the 50-day exponential moving average, rebuilding this position, waiting for a close through 2480, and then again that 2580 level, building up that position. And I think if we can break through 2580, we'll be off to the races. There's still a bit of uncertainty around this medical stock. Are we is COVID behind this and not behind this? Because there's quite a bit of pent-up demand on elective surgery, and I think that's what's driving that uncertainty, and what's going to drive the medical space, is that pent up demand once those come back into the market. Those around the elective surgeries. The market absolutely loved the trading update coming from Mediclinic. I think revenue was up to 12% from the pre-COVID period. That was quite not too bad results coming there from Mediclinic, and it just boosted all the medical stocks. And it came back. That 65 rand level held to today. We'll see over the next couple of days if it was saved by the bell, or it really held. So if it breaks back above that 70 rand level, I'll add it to my position with a stop loss just below that gap, which means that gap wasn't closed. So for now, I'll place my stop quite away, just below that 200-day exponential moving average, with the theory that gaps usually closed. So we could see the stock come back to close the gap around that 50-day exponential moving average and bounce back. So I wanted my stop to be away from traffic, just in case the stock comes back just to close the gap and runs back higher. So I'm going to be waiting for close through that 70 rand level. If we can get a close through 70 rand level, I'll add to my position with the stop loss just below this candle here, around 64 rand and some change. That's if the stock, this low is not taken out between now and then. Momentum, consolidating back to the 50-day exponential moving average. I think we'll start to see some psychological buying happening on the stock. I'm waiting for close through that 21 rand 60 level. If I can get a close through that, I'll add to my position with a stop loss around that 50-day exponential moving average. Pretty much around where we are today, around the 20 rand 30. That's if that level is not taken out between now and then. If it is, the low of the candle that takes that out will be my stop loss. But I'm just waiting for close to the 21 rand and some change level. That's if, of course, we're not stopped before then. MTN forming a nice ascending triangle pattern. A nice ascending triangle pattern. I think we want to see the stock coming back to retest the support of the ascending triangle pattern before it breaks through that 143 level. If it can break through that 143 level, this of course will take maybe a couple of weeks to a month to play out. So if I can get a breakthrough that 143 level, I'll add to my position and raise my stop behind me. We'll see how this support level holds. But if it can break, like say tomorrow, for example, I'll raise my stop to around that 131, but I doubt that that's going to happen. So this trade does require a bit of patience. Yeah, but I'm like, I think it's my second biggest holding at the moment. Netbank also, testing some patience there a little bit. Um, so I'm waiting for close to that 185 level, in which point I'll raise my stop to around that, 173 level, around that 50-day exponential moving average. So if you can get a new high close, perhaps you should just wait for that one day around 180. If you can get it close through 188, I think we'll be off to the races on Nedbank. It's been pretty much sideways for since June, July of this year. It's been pretty much flat. But if you can break through the 188 level, I think we're going to see the stock running, and I'll raise my stop to 173 and add to my position. O Mutual also forming an ascending triangle pattern there, holding that 50-day exponential moving average. Waiting for a close through that 1690 level. I think this is, that's gonna take a bit of time. Perhaps another couple of weeks or to a month for this trade to play out. It requires a bit of patience. On my end. Pepco, Buleng also asked about Pepco. Looking quite good. Moved into a higher box. So I had my box drawn in a different way. I redrew these boxes today. So it moved into a higher box for quite some time, but with red candles in the figured, on the next green candle, entered to the position, and I missed that yesterday. It was quite a hectic day for me. So I'm gonna enter this position. Still didn't run away from me. I'm gonna enter this position, but for now I'm gonna raise my stop to around 20 rand 80 just to give it a little bit of room in this position. Perhaps around 21 rand, but I think 20 rand 80 is a much safer place to place my stop. So I'll raise my stop to around 20 rand 80. As soon as we close off here. I'll raise my stop to 21.80, and at the open tomorrow, I'll look to add to this position and wait for the stock to trade to break through into a higher box, and perhaps because there's certain the other levels that I could place my stop at. Okay, for example, I could also place my stop here. Johannes, I'm seeing you raising your hand. If you have a question, please pop it up in the Q&A or chat box, and I'll get to your question. So yeah, if the I get another opportunity to jump into the trade at some point in the future, I'll add to the position, raise my stop to around that 2150 to 160 rand level. But for now, tomorrow I'll raise my stop to 20 rand 80 and add to my position. I think that 50-day exponential move average is going to protect my trade quite a bit. Pick and Pay, it's it's been pretty much flat for quite a bit. But started to rank, nice doji there around that 50-day exponential moving average. So if we can break through that 61 rand 50 level, I think we'll be off to the races on Pick and Pay. Stop loss, I'm gonna raise my stop to around 56 rand, call it 57 rand. Excuse me, around 57 rand. Once we get a breakthrough, that 61 rand 50. Remgrow found a bit of selling around that 140 level. Let's see how long that level holds as a resistance. Let's see how the market reacts once it comes back to that 140 level. If it reacts when it stops reacting, I'll add to my position and raise my stop to 132. That's if this low is not taken out. But otherwise, I'm waiting for a close through that 144 level on Remgrow, starting to build up quite well. Rain Merchant also, starting to run flat at the minute. Waiting for close through that 38 rand. I want to see how the market reacts to that price, but the price that I'm waiting for is around that 40, 39 rand 90, call it 40 rand level on Rain Merchant. But if the market respects that 38 rand level, or start to consider a breakthrough through that 38 rand 90 level as a level to add to my position. But for now, I'm waiting for that 39 rand, call it 40 rand level. Sunlam just pretty much going nowhere, slowly forming a giant ascending triangle pattern. It has been forming for quite some time. Holding the 200 days, it's basically just not going anywhere. But I'm waiting for close through that call it 65 rand level. Looks like the market doesn't care much about that deal with MTN. We'll see. We'll see. Perhaps if the if we can get like a trading update on how that's going, we'll push the stock one way or the other. But for the moment, it's just killing me in swaps, going pretty much nowhere. It remembered that 298 level from, if you zoom out a little bit, as you can see, that 298 level was a significant level of memory. So it remembered that level. So if I can get a breakthrough that 298 level, I'll add to my position at the current moment. I'll raise my stop to 260. I think the 50-day exponential moving average would have caught on as well. But around that 298, 299 level, I'll add to my position and raise my stop behind me. Showbrat, the breakout is not too convincing. It's not too convincing. I'm just gonna wait for a close through 190, 190 rather. Just about 4 rand away, not too far. At which point I'll raise my stop to perhaps 178, 177. But I like some distance around 175, but we'll see how the market looks like when it breaks through that 190 level. Standard Bank forming a bullish flag here. Just waiting for close through 148, however. But it looks like it did look like it was breaking today, but came back. I think I was looking at the market around lunchtime, and it seemed like it wanted to break out. but coming back, looks like there's a bit of tug of war around that 50-day exponential moving average between buyers and sellers. Um, yeah, as I said, man, you can start building a position on a breakthrough that bullish flag, but the price I'm waiting for, I wouldn't be adding to a position while still in a losing position. So I'm gonna wait for the breakthrough 148.50, at which point I'll add to my position and raise my stop to around just below the traffic there, around 130, around 135. Want to get it close through there. In a ascending triangle pattern forming on Escom amid, so it had a big run, at the back of the trading update around. So the company is delisting the towers business, and they're looking to further delist the open serve, just to value unlock, on its, the underlying asset on telecom. So I'm waiting for close through that 47 rand, 47 rand 60. At which point I'll add to my position and raise my stop just below, I suppose just below that bullish engulfing candle there, just below that 50 exponential moving average. Just slowly and give it a bit more room, because it's still, until we get it close through that 49 rand, call it 50 rand. That's where I'll start be, tighter with that stop. But for now, I want to give it the stop loss quite some room to account for a bit of volatility that may come, as news flow coming through from the company. Last but not least is transaction capital. Moving nicely into the higher box. Held the base of that box for quite a minute. Yeah, looking quite nicely. I wanted to add to my position as it rebroke that level after holding the base, but the stock looks quite volatile for now. So I'm gonna give my stop loss some room and wait for a close through that 44 rand 90, call it 45 rand. And when if you can break through there, I'll raise my stop to around 40 rand 90, which will secure quite a bit of profit and add to my position. Pulling us for that's it for me. This for with regards to open positions. Pulling us for Renogen. Let me see if I have it on the list here. I don't believe I do. Let's get that from. Okay, let me just a sec. Just want to pull up my other charting platform. There you go. Let's move that out of the way. Oh boy. Okay, in the meantime, Pinky on Twitter asked around AB and Bev. Let me just have a look at AB and Bev. In the meantime, while TradingView is still loading. I apologize, my network is a bit. I'm not sure if it's my network or my computer is a bit iffy. Today I do apologize for that. Looks like it's holding a support, but this looks quite bearish at the moment. You know, at, at this point in time, I'd be short or out of the stock, and then I don't think the AB and Bev is gonna do anything special below this longer term trend line. If you zoom out a little bit, I don't think it's gonna do anything special. Below that, I would wait for the stock to break, to stop at least making lower, lower highs. At least it has stopped making lower lows at this point at the moment. Having high lows. Let's I'd rather wait for the stock to stop making lower highs. I think the right side in ABF, it's either you short or short or out. Um, and she also asked around African rainbow minerals. Uh, just bring that. Similarly, man, um, the PGM stocks, I think, it ran quite, the PGM stocks ran quite hard, the past few years, and I think, we had, and taking the other side of that equation, as you can see, the 50-day exponential moving average holding as resistance. There's a running axiom in the market that the first rally after a death cross never holds, and it looks low. So similarly on African rainbow, short or out, and pretty much on all these PGM stocks at the moment. The right side, I would think it's either you short or out. So I'm just staying away from those at the moment. And lastly, she asked me around USD ZAR. Let's pull up the USD ZAR chart. Um, Man, nothing good happens under the 200-day exponential moving average. ZAR looking quite strong. And I think if we can crack this, the support line, if we can crack this support line, we could see the rand coming back to that 13 rand level. Um, yeah, yeah, but if failure to which, if it's going to crack that one there, then we'll see some pain in rand weakness. Rand will further weakness, but for now, I think the white side is rand strengthening. Let's see if we still okay. While we still wait for that redefine, let me see if I do have redefine. Hamish is asking for redefine. Let's see. I don't have redefine properties. Okay. We do now have that. Let's look at Renigen. Ooh, this looks like a choose greater chart. This looks like a choose greater, but looking quite positive. It is looking quite positive. Uh, yeah, looking quite positive. There was a threat of a death cross, but it was quickly covered by a golden cross here. And I think if we can, the problem I would have, I think as a if you want to trade it, without this is the kind of chart that you trade without gearing. Because of liquidity, the way the chart is looking like it's a low liquid stock. Um, Not much activity is happening here, so it bounces around quite a lot, as you can see with these spikes here. But I think if we can, if one would wait for that 30 close through that 30 rand level, and I think the stock will be off to the races. We'll see that that run there being projected upward on Renigen. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Is Renigen there bullying? And let's look at Sibanye. Okay, before Sibanye, let's look at redefine quickly. RDF. Not too bad. Not too bad. This is a stock is running quite well. Running quite well. I'm not 100% sure the side of the mark. Apologies, my computer is just not playing ball today. Yeah, I think if we can get it close to that, call it 5 rand, 4 rand 75. It would be a great place to if you're already holding, adding to the position. But Redefine looking like a nice jab, looking like especially after the breakout there. I did look at Redefine quite a bit earlier. By earlier I mean like last year and the like. But the problem with Redefine is liquidity again, liquidity, and these lower price stocks can get quite volatile. So I tend to stay away from such stocks. Okay, let's look at Sibanye. Where's Sibanye? There it is. Suppose we can get rid of that as well. This PGM stocks, man, they're not looking too great. We had a death cross here, first rally not holding, 200-day exponential moving average holding like a beast. And that kangaroo tail there, man, looking quite dangerous and looks like it's playing out. And I think we'll see the stock coming back to around that 45 rand level. And I think if you want to buy, buying for long-term purposes, you can wait for that 45 rand 50 level, unless it breaks that downtrend. It stops making lower lows. Breaking the, let's see what's this level. If if it can come back above 65 rand, then it has stopped making lower highs. But I think if you're looking to buy, so buying it for long-term buys, you can wait for that 45 rand to, for all intents and purposes, buy the dip on Sibanye. Rich is looking for Sanlam. Let's come back to Sanlam. Yeah, a double bottom. I think you're seeing that quite right. A nice double bottom, but I think that 65 rand level will prove, if we can break through that 65 rand level, then we're off to the races, man. But I think above below that 65 rand level, I don't think Sunderland is gonna do anything special anytime soon, man. And I think you also quite right that if we can break if we can take out the low below the 200 exponential moving average, you could trigger the short-term bearish movement. But for now, just if I wasn't in this trade already, I'll just wait on the sidelines on Sandman. Either you already in or just wait on the sideline for about that 65 rand level. Also, Rich is asking around um, ZAR 40 on Centric 21. So, no, I don't trade the 721 system anymore. I'm just trading the stocks. I'm not trading the indices. I'm only trading the Citrix 40, trading it on the laser system. Yeah, I'm not trading the ZAR 40. But let's have a quick look see on how it looks like for the 721 system. Yeah, you would have been triggered in somewhere here and with the confirmation looking quite well. But I think the ZAR 40 is not going to do anything, of significance below that 63.5k point level. If you can break through the 65k level, we will be off to the races. But for now, um, it's still going to remain flat for quite some time. On ZAR 40, but I don't trade it on 721, and neither is Simon, and that's just a function of that currency pair, avoiding the crossing the spreads on both the trade and the currency, which is not too great. Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. I think we do have Bitcoin on this platform. BTC USD. Let's have a look at. I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while. 66,000. That's quite a run. Certainly. I think you're right. Yeah, Bitcoin is going to have one hell of a run, especially after taking out. Especially after taking out that 63,000 level, I think it's going to have one hell of a run. And if you want to have a target on Bitcoin, I think you can project that base upward. And with Bitcoin, you never know, man. You might think things will take months, and so this. Let's see. Where this suggests another 50% move on Bitcoin if we want to use that big base as to project upward. So we're looking at about $97,000 on Bitcoin. Not too bad a target, not too bad, especially given the hype and the volatility around Bitcoin. So it's not an unrealistic target with Bitcoin, and I think you can place a stop safely, around 44K, man. Just because with Bitcoin you do need to give it a bit more room. But I think looking quite stellar. I think Bitcoin is looking quite stellar, and it's going to go to the moon. Rich, you're quite welcome, man, for the shopping list tweet. And I was thinking of putting it in the newsletter. You guys can let me know if I should also include it. If the shopping list tweet. So for those who don't know, I publish a tweet every morning, shop of what I'm buying on at the open on that day. So I was considering holding that in the mailing list. Just let me know what you think about that. If I should, send an email, with the shopping list. Let me know if you want that email to be on the VillageTrader mailing list and the ones that you reminded for the Follow the Trader webinar. If you like some shopping list email, let me know. Njabulo at villagetrader.co.za, and I will have a chat with Simon, and we can pop that in the mailing list as well. I'm not seeing questions coming in, so I'm gonna park it here. Thank you very much, ladies and gents, for coming in. The video will be up on the YouTube, the VillageTrader YouTube channel in a quite short bit, maybe an hour or so. Thank you very much. Let's do this again next week. Pulling, you're quite welcome. Guys. Again, do let me know what you think about the shopping list being popped into your email from time to time, mostly daily. But not every day, because markets don't give us opportunities every day. With that being said, ladies and gents, it's gonna park it here. Have yourself a great evening. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll do this again next week. Cheers.